Okay, joining me here on News Track to decode further what's really playing out in Bihar and the seat-sharing tug of war is Amitabh Tiwari, political strategist and commentator. We also have Ashutosh, author and political analyst. Good evening to both of you. Mr. Amitabh Tiwari, I'd like to begin with you. We had a similar discussion last night and today, 24 hours later, as far as the Mahagathbandhan goes, we still don't know exactly what their seat-sharing formula is. And of course, time is running out for them. I just had a conversation with Rohit where he did seem to suggest that perhaps the biggest headache right now and the biggest hurdle for the Mahagathbandhan in going ahead and announcing that seat-sharing deal is Mukesh Sahni, is the VIP. Do you think so too?
No, essentially what is happening in Mahagathbandhan is that with the entry of VIP, and with its demand for 30-35 seats, even as you are showing almost 16 seats, who will give up that seats? Because left is also arm twisting for a higher number of seats, especially CPIML, because they had the best strike rate and they have good control over their vote share or support base in the Shahabad and the Magadh region. So just like in NDA, when LJP has entered, and those 29 seats, 14 of them have come from JDU, 9 from BJP, and 6 from the smaller parties, because VIP has switched from NDA to Mahagathbandhan. And also I think the credibility as well as the trust level with Mukesh Sahni is not that high, because we've seen that in different elections, he has contested or his party has contested with different alliances. Also, he claims to be the leader of Nishad community, which is around 9% of the population, which he claims. However, the Mallah community is only 2.6% of the population. And if he was the real leader of a 9 to 10% vote base, then he would not have been in this situation and he would have been bargaining hard. So that has complicated matters, and this election marks the entry of national parties. When I say entry of national parties, the national parties like the BJP in NDA and the Congress in the Mahagathbandhan are now taking the shots or the calls.
Yeah.
Because both the JDU as well as the RJD have weakened over the past 5 years, and both the leaders have also weakened, I would say, because Tejashwi has been weakened by Prashant Kishore constantly raising his educational status, and he has lost some support amongst the youth. And Nitish, of course, the fatigue factor is working against him. So that's complicated the matters for Mahagathbandhan.
We'll talk about that also in just a bit. Just opening remarks from Ashutosh on what's happening really in the Mahagathbandhan. It's not a good look for the alliance, Ashutosh, that just about 48 hours to go for the deadline to file nominations for phase 1, and you still don't have a formula that's been publicly announced. And the question everyone's asking is what's stopping Tejashwi Yadav and Rahul Gandhi from getting on the phone, speaking to each other and ironing all of this out? Ashutosh, you're on mute.
See, Akshita, we have to understand that the coalition politics by nature is full of contradictions and it's uncertain. To imagine that they will sort out all kinds of differences and there will be no difference of opinion between the alliance partners is something which is not expected. In my opinion, I think there is hardly any difference between the RJD in the Congress or in the left alliance, because they have contested elections in the past also. They are good and trusted alliance partners. What has complicated, I agree with Amitabh ji, that Sahni's entry has really complicated, and Sahni is something which is not trustworthy. And in fact, people have asked questions in the past that whether you will switch to NDA or how long you will continue in this Mahagathbandhan alliance. And he has never given a straight answers that whether he'll continue with Mahagathbandhan or he will switch to the NDA. In fact, he had gone to the extent of saying that 60% or 70% with Mahagathbandhan. So there's always a scope for them. In terms of Rahul Gandhi and the Tejashwi Yadav, I don't see any problem at all, because Rahul Gandhi, Tejashwi Yadav, they are in the best of relationship with the left also. Now the issue is how many seats they can afford to give to Sahni, that is the VIP. He's expecting something around 30 seats, which is completely unacceptable, and he will not get that kind of seat. So maybe he can get something around 10 seats or 11 seats or then 13 seats. So That should be the trouble spot. I
Yeah.
don't see any trouble between RJD, between Congress and the left, in my opinion.
Our sources tell us it could be about 16, but that's something clearly the Mukesh Sahni has said is unacceptable for him. So the next 24 hours, Rohit tells us, we could see some dramatic twists and turns. We'll wait for that. Let's focus on the NDA right now, where you had, in fact, the BJP announcing the candidates for 71 seats. The point that you made, Amitabh Tiwari, about how, the national parties are now coming to the fore in Bihar, very, very evident in the NDA seat sharing pact. The fact that you have the BJP and JDU with 101 seats each. The JDU also reportedly had several objections to 29 going Chirag Paswan's way, but it looks like on that front also the JDU has kind of been assuaged, and there's no point really in changing those numbers. So in that sense, if you look at the NDA seat sharing deal, the biggest takeaway seems to be that the BJP's had it their way.
Yeah, essentially, so we have been debating as to whether the BJP has emerged as the bigger brother of the alliance, or it will emerge as the bigger brother after the election results, when if it gets more seats, then it can clearly be the bigger brother. However, the seat sharing shows that if not the bigger brother, there are now both JDU and BJP are now the equal partners, with clearly JDU being the elder brother for such a long time now, for almost 20 years now in this alliance. Clearly, with Nitish Kumar's party weakening in terms of seat tally in 2020 Vidhan Sabha elections, that has given BJP an entry point. So even if you see the ministerial distribution or the cabinet distribution, it is largely in proportion to the MLAs. Here again, I wouldn't say everything is hunky-dory.
Yeah, very true.
There are issues with respect to JDU and LJP. JDU might still not agree to this formula and might still want to contest one or two even symbolically more seats. And the bigger issues will be post the finalization of the candidates, because it clearly shows now that there is a very big risk of vote transfer or a seamless vote transfer between JDU and LJP, because that has never happened in the past. LJP has contested in Lok Sabha elections within NDA, but has sought votes in the name of Prime Minister. Whereas for the first time, it will be seeking votes in the name of the Chief Minister and the Prime Minister combined, correct? And JDU also has not forgotten how LJP wounded JDU badly, and that has also led to the decline of the JDU perhaps in the last 5 years. What people are also missing, and that is also very evident from the statements of Jitin Ram Manji, is that many people are calculating that 142 is of BJP or BJP led allies and 101 is of JDU. However, Manji has come out in support of Nitish, and Manji is largely, you can say, was earlier part of JDU, and Nitish made him the CM when he had resigned from that post. So Hum and RLSP both can easily be considered to be with the JDU in any negotiations going forward. So it's largely 113 for JDU and 130 for BJP going forward in this alliance.
No, but looking at those numbers, Ashutosh, I also tend to question about whether, and politics, of course, is all about, the kind of optics, the messaging that you send out, symbolism. With those numbers that we're putting out on our screens, does that also kind of further weaken and dent Nitish Kumar's image?
See, Akshata, in fact, if you see carefully, the one political party which has been losing ground consistently from 2005 onwards until 2025 is Janata Dal United and Nitish Kumar. In 2005, Janata Dal United contested 139 seats and won 88 seats. In 2010, they contested 141 seats and won 115 seats. From there, the same political party has to contest 101 seats. And how many seats they are going to win is something which has to be seen. BJP has consistently maintained the number of seats it has contested and won. In fact, in 2010, when the Janata Dal United got 22.58% vote share, where the BJP got 16.49%. But in the recent past, if you look at, the BJP has emerged as the biggest political party in Bihar in terms of vote share, and also number 2 party in terms of seat share in 2020 assembly elections. So the BJP has been consistently gaining, not only in terms of vote share but also in terms of seats, where the Janata Dal has been losing. And today, if you look at, for the first time in 20 years, Nitish Kumar has to come out with these all kinds of
Promises.
welfare schemes, which he has never done in the past. So this shows that Nitish Kumar realizes its weaknesses. But whether the Nitish Kumar and the Janata Dal United is in a position to gain as many seats they won in 2005 or in 2010, it's something which has to be seen. And that's why this election will be very, very crucial. If the NDA manage to win election, whether the Nitish Kumar will remain at the helm of affair or not.
In the top boss position that the JDU was in the NDA, that image is eroding. And so that tells you how crucial this particular political battle is for the JDU as well. Not just, of course, to prove themselves on the ground, but to prove within the alliance that they're still a force to reckon with, or they're going to be swallowed up with the BJP gaining more and more in Bihar and trying to essentially be in the commanding position, the boss of the alliance. Ashutosh, Amitabh Tiwari, thank you very much for your time. Thank you for joining us here on News Track.